Hi, this is Raul Mosley here to chat with you about my upcoming S400 Leadership Capstone course that will be held during the spring semester 2013. This is the book that I'm using. It's the only book, $19 on Amazon I think it is right now. So I know that's going to be a disappointment to those of you who want to spend hundreds of dollars on your reading. But here's the course and how it's going to lay out. There are 5 basic practices for leadership that they discuss in this book. And when I say they, it's Kouzes and Posner, who are among the best, if not the best, leadership experts. This book is insightful and it's also accessible. So I think it'll be an easy read, but also one that you learn a lot from. They say that leaders follow 5 basic practices. They take those 5 basic practices and they break them down into 2 parts for each practice. So, for example, leaders challenge the process. What does that look like? Well, according to them, leaders, number 1, search for opportunities. And then secondly, they experiment and take risk. So here's how the course would work out for you. We will take the first 3 weeks of the class basically getting an overview of these principles and designing surveys. 10 surveys in complete. And then what we'll do is we'll take those 10 surveys and give those to leaders that you will form a relationship with. So, for example, you might go out and find a leader in a local organization who is trying to bring about change. And you would work with that leader from the start of the semester until the end. So we'll basically set up our surveys at the beginning. You'll form those relationships at the beginning, and then during the next 10 weeks, you will give them 1 survey a week. So I will probably construct these for you. It'll be a survey that all of us can use, 1 for each of those 10 subpoints of leadership practice. And then what you'll do is you'll interact with that leader and interview them regarding that particular leadership practice. Finally, when all that's done, we'll take the last 3 weeks of class, or 2 weeks, or whatever's left, to basically process what we've learned and probably have some presentations that I would like to record so that we could upload to our Facebook page, and I'll create one of those for the class. The cool thing about that is you'll be able to look back at your presentation and look back on the presentation of your classmates to basically understand what you learned when you took the course. And you'll be able to do that years down the road, I hope, which will mean that the course will have long-term value to you simply because of our ability to increase your retention. Something else that I think would be cool to do is to create an independent film that features one of the leaders that you work with. And we're not going to be able to do this for everybody who signs up in the course, but some people might make really good candidates for this. So we would go on site, and I would probably do the recording for you, at least I want to do one of these, and we'll interview the leader regarding these practices. We'll interview some of the employees and basically reemerge at the end of the semester to tell the story of the leadership function in that particular organization. That could have a lot of appeal, especially if we touch on major issues such as how the organization is dealing with globalization and how they're preparing for that, or the economic factors. What are they doing to boost morale from a human resources perspective? So I think a film like that could be really beneficial and also shine a spotlight on our program and certainly on the region as well. So please let me know if you have any questions about the course. It does meet on Fridays, technically from I believe 1 o'clock to 3:45. It does not mean that we'll actually be sitting in class from 1 o'clock to 3:45. There's a pretty good chance on any given week that you'll be on site working with that leader to discuss the survey that you're doing that particular week. We will meet though, probably every week, just to touch base and to hear what's going on in the organization that you're working with. You'll learn a lot through this book. Hopefully you'll learn a lot from me, but you'll probably learn the most from your classmates who are out there doing a similar experiment along with you. So we need 10 students in this class to make it happen. So far I've got 4. I have not pushed the course at all. And the reason for that is, why the enrollment is so low, is there are prerequisites to get into it. I'm waiving those. I'm the head of the leadership minor, And so I will waive the prerequisites that you usually have to get into this Capstone course. And don't let the Capstone part intimidate you. Even though if you haven't had the other courses that build up to that, that's okay. We will adapt this course and make it useful and meaningful and doable for anybody who signs up for it. So let me know if you have questions. Feel free to hit me up on Facebook. That's probably the best way, at Raul Mosley, or on Twitter, which is at Raul Mosley. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.